Joining me now is Congressman Matt Gaetz, who serves on a number of key committees, including Judiciary, Budget, and Armed Services. I got to tell you, Congressman, I covered Latin America for 12 years. I think you're absolutely right. The rule of law is what differentiates the United States from most of the other banana republics in the world, and this is a breakdown in the rule of law.
It's absolutely right, David, and my hope is that we'll be able to get past some of the statements that Nancy Pelosi and other Democrats have put out and actually work on this in a bipartisan way. I think that all Americans, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, should be concerned about a government that would take a political opposition research document and then use that as a basis to spy on American citizens. We've all got a stake to ensure that that never happens again.
Now, on Fox News Channel, Bret Baier was just talking to Mr. Nunes, who suggested that nobody in the committee actually saw the FISA applications. How did you then discover that the Trump dossier played such a key role in getting that warrant?
Well, the Intelligence Committee, the Judiciary Committee, the Oversight Committee have all been conducting sworn depositions of key members of the FBI and Department of Justice, and the statement about the dossier forming the fundamental basis for this FISA application largely came from the testimony of Andrew McCabe, the Deputy Director of the FBI, who just abruptly resigned days ago. McCabe said in his deposition that without the dossier, there never would have been a basis to spy on Americans. Now, Democrats are saying today, David, that, well, there was the concern about Papadopoulos and an offhand statement he made at a bar. But remember, McCabe said that would never have been sufficient. It may have been necessary, but never sufficient to get a FISA warrant. It was the dossier that did that. A dossier so uncredible that it was a Yahoo News article written by Mr. Isikoff, planted by Christopher Steele, that was the authenticating evidence for the dossier. So circular logic, circular facts, and a real erosion of our process.
Now, will Americans get a chance to view that FISA warrant? I mean, we're going to see probably going to see the Democratic memo, which will undoubtedly pour cold water or attempt to on the Republican memo. It would be great if Americans could judge for themselves by looking at the FISA warrant. Undoubtedly would have to be redacted, but looking at it ourselves to see which memo is correct.
Well, absolutely right. The facts that are laid out in the majority memo are verifiable. They can be proven, and that's one of the reasons why Congressman Lee Zeldin ensured that the letter that we prepared to Chairman Nunes, signed by over 60 Republicans, demands not only the release of the memo, but authenticating evidence to the extent to which that doesn't put national security in jeopardy. So this isn't the last you'll be hearing from us. There's a lot more to come. There's more information that we'll be getting into the public square, but for now, we should be very troubled by what we've learned.
Well, one thing that troubled me was to see Rod Rosenstein's name on there as one of the people who signed off on at least one of the FISA warrants, or at least a reapplication of a FISA warrant. If he was aware of the fact that the Trump dossier was a piece of partisan smear job that was paid for by the Democratic committee, and if he furthermore did not share that information with the FISA court, should he be gone?
Well, I'm not going to get into the HR policies of the administration. I'll leave that to the president. I will say that you've correctly identified the omissions in the application to the FISA court, not just the misrepresentations. It is outrageous that the FISA court was left in the dark about the very genesis of this dossier, the Democratic National Committee. It's also outrageous that even after Mr. Steele was terminated by the FBI and not paid because he was deemed unreliable for leaking information to the media, Mr. Rosenstein still signed off on renewals of this warrant. So that's some really bad conduct that needs to be explained to the Congress, the president, and the American people.
Well, I'll tell you what else is outrageous is the fact that a bunch of virulently anti-Trump officials at the FBI and the Justice Department, we know that now, looking at their memos and their emails and what their spouses were doing, et cetera, that they used a piece of a partisan smear job that was paid for by the Democratic committee in order to get FISA warrants. And Adam Schiff claims that revelation in the form of the memo today was an overhyped political job. I mean, to suggest that something that significant, and again, we have to get all of the facts straight here, but if everything in that memo bears out, do you think it's fair to call it overhyped in any way, shape, or form?
Well, I'll leave that to the American people to decide, but I don't know anyone who's comfortable with the notion that if you hire the spouse of the right official at the Department of Justice, that you could take a political opposition research document and get that into the intelligence bloodstream. Let's not forget, Bruce Orr's profile, his portfolio, included drug interdiction and drug enforcement issues, but all of a sudden he's meeting with Christopher Steele and Glenn Simpson both before and after the election, and he is valeting political information into the Justice Department. That really is something that needs explaining, and we've got to have legislation so that that never happens again, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat.
Well, if it all bears out, it is totally repugnant to the rule of law, and as you correctly point out, it is the rule of law that differentiates the United States from a banana republic. We have to maintain that rule of law. Congressman Matt Gaetz, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.